Good evening, citizens of the over-nation of Reverie, and welcome to the Wing's first broadcast, Down to the Realm. This is your host, Queen I Love Unica, bringing you the latest news across the nation. Tonight's show is a test broadcast to ensure our communication system can reach the surface. Our first story tonight is about the State of the Union. Intel on the ground informs the Wings that President Von Zero is in the process of planning a new stimulus package that will help boost the economy, make immigration into the nation easier, and increase the military's budget to allow citizens and newly naturalized immigrants to properly protect themselves from the increasingly hostile monsters that plague all over nations throughout the realm. This past week, President Von Zero has been actively working on the package after legislation was successfully passed. Chancellors Von Cry and Von Red, as well as the People's Republic Party leader Von Skittles, were seen leaving the Capitol building's meeting room on Discordia Street with joyful and accomplished looks. The populace has, for a while now, displayed concern about the ever-growing threat of monsters and a crumbling infrastructure, forcing many people to flee the overnation. Those remaining have walled themselves off as they hold on to hope that the president can stop these issues. On that note, we move to our next story, the housing crisis. As towns and cities are being abandoned due to the threats of monsters, the military too has abandoned them, and the treasury is drained to help fund the government's projects. Because of this, monsters have begun to invade unprotected housing, and making it difficult for citizens left homeless, as well as immigrants, to find bastion. Until the president can ensure their safety with this new package, which will be rolled out in bursts throughout the month, people are forced to find shelter. In response to the crisis, Vice-Chancellor von Saradmi has given a welcoming invitation to all people to find disaster relief in her city, the Flying Wolves. We tried to catch the Vice-Chancellor, as well as the Lord Ijab, for a statement, but neither were available to comment. Next, where has Vice-Chancellor von Shorty Lin gone? And why has the President placed a nationwide ban on the latest technological innovation, Redstone automated machines? Also, will the prohibition on alcoholic beverages end soon? These questions to be answered next, after these messages. This is a public service announcement. Are your crops suffering from the season's flooding? Are you too busy to care for your crops due to the increase in the breeding and summoning of monsters? Are the scourge trampling crops when you get near? We have good news. Thanks to the realm's loose policies on slavery, certificates are available to take care of your food. Safe from zombies, these larger-headed bipeds seem to be ignored by the monsters, and are able to take care of crops in any kind of weather. As long as you're close enough to them that your presence is known, they'll take care of everything for you. Do you not have these nomadic villagers near your homes? Not to fear. President Von Zero has stated that, once the Reichstag's voting booths are open to the public, citizens will be rewarded with various goods for voting, including personal slaves. We encourage you to take advantage of this and help the overnation with the food shortage. Welcome back to our news broadcast. First story after the break is this, perhaps confusing, ban on always active machines. More and more nations throughout the realm are passing legislation that makes it impossible for citizens to use machines that run 24/7. Many nation leaders have different reasons for this ban, from machines allowing citizens to stay awake at all times, infringing loitering laws, to strain on other systems, to allow farms and grinders to run day and night without moderation and hurting the economy. We spoke with President Von Zero to get an official statement. He told our troops on the ground that the overnation's main defense system has been taking a beating, and too many monsters within our walls, or too many machines running at the same time, will put too much strain on the power grid, and until a later date, citizens using these banned machines will be prosecuted. As the Capitol building's meeting room has been packed nearly every day with bills seeking to be passed and ideas are brought forth, Vice-Chancellor von Shorty Lin has been absent from it all. Our intel says she fled the overnation with many of the population when buildings started to crumble, and it has led rise to many conspiracy from immigrants and those outside the close-knit circles within the government. When we tried to gain further information, we only reached dead ends. If you can tell us where the Vice-Chancellor has gone, please inform our Supreme General, Lady Alaares, at once. This story is still developing. More information will be given as this unfolds. Our last story for tonight is about alcohol. Most nations in the realm have never heard of or considered the idea of alcohol and its productions. This is mostly due to people believing it may be a hassle to brew, at other times due to world leaders banning it in their nations for the good of the public. But could that be changing? President Von Zero seems to think so. In a private interview with the president, I had the pleasure of talking to him about the future of Reverie. He said that he wanted to bring more culture to the overnation, if people could bring forth ideas. We spoke for a good while, suggesting that the Wings could provide him cookbooks and brewing guides we've collected on our journeys, as well as discussed how to easily implement it all into the world without too many issues. We ended our conversation on a high note. The president states that, while it would not be a part of the new stimulus package and new legislation, more foods and alcohols may be coming sooner than thought. While it's still not a guarantee, it still brings forth great news for those who wish to spice up their lives with more grandiose flavors and crack open a cool one after a long day of farming and slaying monsters. And with that, this concludes our first broadcast to the surface. We hope that this has been helpful and has reached your ears. We look forward to providing you with weekly news and keeping everyone informed. Until next time, this is Queen Isla from the Wings that orbit our skies, signing out.